Welcome to Rick's Corner. I got Rich PIANA back. It's hard to pin him down. It's been a while, Rick. It's been a while, but I have to say one thing. You're a man of your word. You always come. You always do this. You always give me good information, and everybody out there loves you, so I think this is a great thing that you're here today. And so we were talking about some subjects, and, there's so many ways to attack the body. Over the years, I've had people write to me, what about the old school diet and the old school training? And we had talked about that, too. Will it work today? And, of course, your body hasn't changed, so everything that you do is going to work if it works for you.
Yep.
So you had talked about the tricks of getting big and gaining muscle and gaining weight and gaining size.
Yep.
And so we're going to talk about that for you guys so you guys can understand what it takes to do what you want to do. Now, everybody's different. Not everybody gains the same way, right?
No, everyone's different. Everyone has a different metabolism. Everyone has different needs. You have to figure out what's best for you.
Right.
It takes trial and error, and eventually you figure out your body.
Yeah.
But, as we all know, you have to eat big to get big.
It's true.
That goes for everyone. If you're not gaining weight, you're not growing, you're not eating enough.
Right.
Simple as that. Now, as far as how much more do you need to eat, that's where it gets tricky. Because we're not trying to get fat. We're not trying to make the scale go up at any means possible. We're trying to put on quality muscle.
That's right.
And maybe, a little bit of water and fat, just a little bit, because it is really hard to gain muscle and gain weight and stay ripped.
Does your body weight vary from day to day as far as water weight, 3 to 4 pounds?
Yeah, I think everyone's does. That's why it's kind of hard when you get on the scale every day, because it can go up 5-6 pounds,
easily
in a day.
I've had it happen.
So
it doesn't do that for women.
Yeah, it's not as much.
There's goes up and stays up.
Yeah, I think it's definitely. I check my weight like once a week.
Okay.
I think that's a better gauge. More. Better gauge, easier to gauge that way. But here's some of the tricks that I use for gaining weight. First of all, I'm a big believer in food.
Okay.
I think food is the best always. If you have a choice between a weight gainer and a food is always going to be the choice. And a lot of people have it in their head that I need to get a weight gainer. I need to get a weight gainer.
Mm-hmm.
You say eat more food. That's obviously always the best answer is eat real food. So what I like to do is a little mixture I do is I might get liquid egg whites.
Well, you just ate something coming over here.
I was eating chicken and rice.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, as I pulled up, I was eating, right?
Right.
So, always got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
Driving.
Eating off for me,
Yeah. So basically, egg whites, and what I do is I'll get a big container of oatmeal. And this is what I used to do when I was trying to gain weight. A lot of people ask me, hey, Rich, what do you do? I don't tell you what I do now because I'm not trying to gain weight and gain size now. But back in the day, I did whatever it took to gain weight.
I think we all did that.
Yeah, I was just crazy. All I cared about was another pound. That was what my life consisted of. So I can tell everyone what I did, what worked best for me. And the best way for me to gauge my calories, my protein, my carbs, and gaining quality weight was I use liquid egg whites or a protein powder, which is, second alternative.
Okay.
And oatmeal. Now, oatmeal is a real food.
Yes, it is.
It's a quality food. It's a good carbohydrate. So when you make a shake with oatmeal and egg whites, you're eating. It's food.
I have a question, though.
Yep.
Because I use the 1 minute quick oatmeal, and I mix hot water with it.
Yep.
And I mix a little Splenda or stevia for flavor.
Right.
And then sometimes I'll cook up egg whites and put them on top, and maybe a scoop of vanilla protein, and mix it in, and it tastes like a vanilla pudding with eggs.
That's perfect. That's awesome.
It's a great snack.
No, it's awesome. It's definitely good. It's definitely tasty. The only reason I use shakes was because I was trying to get it as many as I could a day. And it was quick. It was fast. Right. It was easy.
But that's my question. You don't have to cook the oatmeal?
No. You just put it raw in the blender.
Okay.
And I do prefer the quick oats. Obviously, they blend better.
Sure they do.
And, you can throw in some banana, peanut butter, whatever for flavor, some fruit.
It's like eating oatmeal cookie dough.
Yeah. And, what I tell people is that, if you're eating 3,000 calories a day, bump it up to 3,500. So, the way I would monitor it is every shake, I would add maybe a quarter cup more oatmeal and maybe 1 or 2 more egg whites.
Okay.
And then after a couple weeks, I'd bump it up another quarter cup oatmeal. And I just keep track by the mirror. And, doing cardio while you're eating a lot of good quality food is only going to help you put muscle on. It allows you to eat more because you're burning more calories. Your body turns into a machine.
Do you do a lot of cardio?
I don't, and I should.
Yeah.
And again, I say funny things like, if you got to do cardio, you're not having enough sex. If you got to do cardio, you're not doing sex right.
Listen, cardio is a good.
If you're a minute man, you need to become a 2-hour man. I say all this stuff.
Yeah.
But the reality is, I'm a funny guy, and when it comes down to it, yeah, you should do cardio. I tell people, if you have to do cardio, you're not training hard enough.
Well, you hurt your leg. I hurt my knee. I cannot do the treadmill anymore. I can do this bike and whatever.
Yeah.
Dallas Page has that yoga where you stand and you do certain moves, and his heart rate went up. God, I don't know how much in a couple of seconds.
Yoga? What's yoga?
Well, I mean, I know. I mean, I don't do yoga.
The fuck is yoga?
But it's like it is a form of cardio.
No, it's definitely good. I'm just joking.
Well, it's like posing for a contest.
Yeah.
You know, you're going to practice posing in the mirror for 15, 20 minutes a day. That's basically cardio.
That will kill you. That's harder than most.
It's not impact, but it's cardio.
Yes.
Okay.
It's exhausting, and every muscle's getting tense and squeezed, and you're sore the next day.
Totally.
Yeah, I mean, so monitoring the shakes, I was drinking between 6 and 8 shakes a day, eating between 2 and 3 meals. So they're talking about 10 meals a day. And it was just a good way for me to gauge my exact calorie intake without actually weighing food. And, I wasn't going to take it that far, But
you have.
Adding that oatmeal in, and I got to the point where every shake was 3 cups of oatmeal and, 16 egg whites. Yeah. And I would do 8 of those a day plus 2 meals. So I don't know, if you can imagine 3 cups of raw oatmeal blended up with egg whites, banana, water. I mean, it is a thick shake that is hard to drink.
You have to eat with a spoon.
But, my caloric intake was probably, around 8,000 calories a day of good quality, pure food. There's no garbage, there's no maltodextrin, there's no sugar, there's no, you know what I mean? It's just good quality, real food. Yeah. And for me, that was the best way to put on the best quality weight, and people, they say, well, how many calories should I take? I don't have that answer. Nobody knows. I don't have that answer, and no one else is going to have that answer. So you have to figure it out for yourself. You just keep adding a little bit, watch yourself in the mirror, and eventually you're going to start to get fat. So then you pull back a little bit.
That's your gauge.
And that's your gauge. And my opinion is you start to get fat, add a little more cardio, train a little harder, train a little longer, and keep bumping those calories up. The harder you work, the faster you're going to get to where you want to go.
It makes sense to me. You've got to feed the body.
Got to feed the body. Got to work hard. Got to kill it.
Well, that sounds good to me. And let me ask you one question. What does that 5% mean?
5%. I'm so glad you asked me that.
I knew you would be.
Because I'm so tired of people asking me on Instagram, Facebook. Yeah. Oh, my God. It's just crazy. I'll answer it, and then 2 minutes later, again and again and again. Basically, 5% represents 5% of the people in the world that are willing to do whatever it takes to reach their goals. Yeah. Now, when I say this, it doesn't matter what your goal is. Right. This is for everybody. It's just that 5% are willing to do whatever it takes to get to that goal, to accomplish their dreams. And I kind of feel like the other 95% of the people are the ones that are talking about it, but are never actually going to do it.
It's so true.
And it's not anything about physicality. It's about mentality. It's strong-minded people, people with heart and are willing to keep pushing. So a lot of people, look and they say, well, I'm not a 5%er because I don't look like Rich PIANA. Yeah. And it's nothing about the way you look. With your career in wrestling, you saw a lot of big, strong guys, but mentally they were weak. Yeah. You saw guys that weren't so big and strong in the rink that were mentally strong as hell.
Well, it's the same thing. I get calls all week long about people who want to train out here in the ring with me, and they want to do this, they want to be a superstar, and then they show up? No.
or they take one bump. That's it. And they're complaining, and they're hurt, and they're like, oh, my back. And you're like, you're out of here.
Or you take them to the gym, too, and they can't do a workout. So, I mean, there are people, 95% of people are like that. They see the big dream, the big picture. They want to be that superstar, but they don't want to do the work.
Exactly.
And so many of the guys today that I do train, there's a few, but I mean, there's so many today that even in the indie wrestling that wear a T-shirt when they wrestle because they're ashamed to show their body because they don't want to take that extra step to work out and eat right.
Yeah, you don't fit in. You're not doing what it takes.
It's just weird.
It's whatever it takes, willing to go that extra step, and to never give up. I mean, again, I've said this a million times with Michael Jordan. Get kicked off the high school basketball team. Most people would give up basketball. Yeah. You failed. You suck. You're never going to play basketball. But he had the perseverance to just keep pushing, and became the best basketball player of all time.
There's certain roadblocks in life. I've said this to a lot of people. I have another show on motivation. And when you go down the street, there's a roadblock, there's a fire truck, there's this and that. And these things are all in your way to get from point A to point B. But if you want to get there, you'll find a way around the roadblocks. Yeah. You don't let them stop you and go back home.
Exactly.
It's the same thing with everything in life, to the gym, to wrestling, to whatever you want to do. If you want to be an architect or an artist or a singer, give it all and go for the gold, right?
Exactly. Okay. Exactly. So 5% is all about doing whatever it takes.
But before we close, we're going to do another segment. I just want to say I did see you one day with a disguise on walking out of a Pilates class.
You saw me.
Yeah.
Well, as long as you don't videotape them, just put it up on YouTube. I'm okay.
All right. So that's why you got your size. Thank you for watching Rick's Corner. Thanks, Rich, for being here. We're going to do another segment, but now you know how to gain some size and weight. Take it, buy your oatmeal, get your stuff, and try it, and throw your egg whites in there. I'm going to do it tonight for sure, right when I watch American Idol. Because those guys are 5%ers.
5%ers all the way.
Stay tuned for more Rick's Corner.
All right, guys.
It's rickdrasin.com. He is the equalizer, baby. See you next time.